Okay, so let's take a look at PromoTix's Performer Insights tool. But before we do that, there's three questions that I need to ask you. Number one, do you book music acts, i.e., bands, artists, etc., to perform at your events? So, in other words, are you a music promoter? Number two, do you spend a lot of money booking these acts? Statistics would show that's most likely the case. And number three, do you often wonder if you're booking the right act? You're spending all of this money, right? Often thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars on one act. So the last thing you want is to make that large investment and then no one buys tickets and no one shows up to your event, right? So if you answered yes to all three of those questions, then you need Performer Insights. For music promoters, it really is an essential tool. And the reason why is because it takes the emotion out of talent buying. It takes the guesswork out of talent buying, and it turns it into a simple, data-driven process. The data that you collect clearly shows which acts you should book. You can book those acts with confidence and know that you're making smart investments that are going to make your events profitable. So let's get into how this tool actually works. What you're seeing on the screen here, this is a real music promoter's account on PromoTix. So this is real data. And what Performer Insights does is it allows you to see the top acts that your potential ticket buyers are engaging with on Spotify. And you can see that it's broken up into two tables. On the left here, we have a fans following table. On the right, we have a fans listening table. And if I scroll through, you can see that there's tons and tons of acts that are listed in each of these tables. And these are not random acts from Spotify. Again, these are the acts that your potential ticket buyers are following and listening to. So these are people that have bought tickets to your previous events. These are people that have registered on one of your contests on PromoTix. So this is very targeted data. This is targeted to your market, and this is your audience. Each act has a value here that shows you how many of your potential ticket buyers are engaging with that act. There's also an audience overlap value. So this shows you the ratio of how many people are engaging with that act compared to your total overall audience. And then the acts are ranked according to that. So at the very top, this is the act that most of your audience is following. Over here, this is the act that most of your audience is listening to. And then it just goes down from there. Another thing that's important to know about this data is that it updates every 24 hours. So as people's listening habits change, as acts fall in popularity, as new acts rise up and gain in popularity, every single day when you log into PromoTix and check your Performer Insights tab, you'll see those changes reflected in the tables. So some acts will move down in the list, other acts will move up, and that way you can always stay on top of the trends and you have the latest, most current information available to you. So let's run through a real-world example of how you could put this data to use. So let's imagine you are negotiating with an agent. The agent is pitching you this act. They're asking $50,000 for the performance, and they're giving you all these reasons why their asking price is worth it, right? The act has been selling out these shows. They sell this number of tickets on average. And that may be true for other markets, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the act is the right fit for your market. So that's when you can look at your Performer Insights data and you can check to see if your ticket buyers are a fan of that act. And they may not be, right? The act may be number 60 or number 70 in this list. And you may have a competing offer for a different act, and they're only asking $25,000 for their performance. So if you're the music promoter in that situation, obviously you would take the other offer because they're going to cost you half the price, and there's a better chance that that act is going to perform well in your market. So that's one example of a $25,000 savings right there. But you're probably asking yourself, how can I collect all of this data for my ticket buyers in the first place, right? Well, there's multiple different places inside of PromoTix that act as entry points to collect this data. For example, you can run registration contests where people can earn points by giving you access to their Spotify accounts. You can incentivize your ambassadors to give you access to their Spotify accounts using the PromoTix Ambassador mobile app. So you're collecting this data from all of these different places, and the more data that you collect, the more valuable those insights are going to be when you're making those important decisions. And while technically it is possible for someone to revoke access to their Spotify data, the vast majority of people are going to grant you access and then forget about it. So essentially, you're going to have access indefinitely. And as far as data privacy goes, you can never look at one specific person's listening activity or which acts they're following on Spotify. This data is combined from lots of different people. These are high level insights. So data privacy really isn't a concern here. And once you've collected this data, you control it. You can click on the CSV download button. You can export it, take a snapshot of it. This data is yours to do with it what you wish. So that's it for this video. If talent buying feels like gambling to you, if you're losing sleep at night, second guessing yourself about the acts that you're booking, hope this video showed you how Performer Insights can take the stress out of that process and help make your events more profitable.